welcome to this explainer. Okay, so today we're looking at something that has fundamentally shifted in the business world. We used to think of customer service as just a cost center, right? Just a back office department dealing with complaints all day. But looking at the data in our source material today, a totally different picture emerges. Transforming your customer service approach isn't just about damage control anymore. It's actually the ultimate growth hack for any business in today's insanely competitive market. It's exactly how you build trust, foster those lasting relationships, and ultimately drive real revenue.
Okay, let's dive into this. 93%. According to HubSpot research cited in our source, 93% of customers are more likely to buy again from a company that provides excellent customer service. I mean, think about the incredibly high business stakes here. Your products could be absolutely flawless, your marketing could be award-winning, but if that frontline service interaction falls flat, you're risking nearly all of your repeat business. Literally, one bad experience, and today's customers will not hesitate to jump straight over to a competitor.
So, over the next few minutes, we're going to cover a lot of ground. We'll look at why customer service matters, the difference between good and excellent service, some key strategies for success, how to overcome common challenges, measuring what matters most, and finally, building long-term loyalty. Think of this as your definitive guide for crossing the chasm from basic support to exceptional care.
All right, let's jump right into Section 1, Why Customer Service Matters.
And this brilliantly illustrates exactly what we're talking about. Modern customers have absolutely endless choices right at their fingertips. And because they can switch brands with a single click, every single interaction they have with your team is a defining moment for your brand's perception. You can't just serve them blindly. You have to understand exactly where they are in their journey. It maps out from their initial discovery of your brand to the active support phase when they need help, all the way to the post-service follow-up. Visualizing these touch points shows you exactly where your team needs to intervene. By proactively supporting clients at each of these 3 steps, you aren't just closing tickets, you're building genuine, sustainable relationships.
Moving right along to Section 2, Good versus Excellent Service.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the massive gap between just being good and being excellent. It's time to redefine our baseline because merely meeting basic expectations, that's just not enough to secure loyalty anymore. Good service is highly reactive. You answer the question, you fix the problem quickly, and you move on. It meets the need, sure. Excellent service, however, requires proactive empathy. It's following up after the fact to make sure the solution actually worked. It's adding a personalized touch that fits the customer's mood. It's about going that extra mile to surprise customers in the best way possible, making them feel genuinely valued rather than just treating them like another ticket number in the queue.
So how do we actually do this? That brings us to Section 3, Strategies for Success. This is our tactical blueprint.
Look, excellent service absolutely has to start internally. You've got to set crystal clear service standards, because if your team doesn't know what great looks like, down to the tone of voice and response times, they simply can't deliver it. And even if they do know, they need the training and the actual authority to make on-the-spot decisions without bottlenecking at management. I mean, if they have to constantly wait for approval, the whole system just grinds to a halt. To tie it all together, leaders need to cultivate a culture of customer centricity. You have to model the right behavior and actually reward the reps who go the extra mile.
Now for the outward-facing tactics. Speed matters incredibly. Acknowledging a complaint right away stops a small hiccup from snowballing into a full-blown crisis. Next, personalize the experience. Our source notes that 78% of customers now expect personalization. To put that into perspective, that's nearly 8 out of 10 people expecting you to know who they are. Use your CRM system to know their purchase history, tailor your chat responses, and speak to them as human beings. Finally, be proactive. Don't wait for the complaint to roll in. Send a welcome message in a live chat, or shoot them an email about a known bug before they even have to ask you about it.
And here is a great rapid-fire checklist for your team, the 5 C's. Courtesy, communication, consistency, competence, and care. If you can make these 5 C's your team's daily mantra, you guarantee a polite, helpful, and value-driven interaction every single time. Because when every single touch point is clearly communicated, consistent with your brand, handled competently, and delivered with genuine care, the customer instantly feels that difference.
All right, let's face reality in Section 4, Overcoming Common Service Challenges. So the crucial point is, even perfectly trained, well-meaning teams stumble sometimes, right? Things go wrong. But you don't need a massive structural overhaul to fix common operational pitfalls. If long response times are frustrating people, the quick fix is just turning on auto replies to say, hey, we got your message and we're on it. That immediately buys you time and rescues a fragile relationship. Inconsistent service? Build simple, clear checklists for your team so the experience is identical every time. Ignoring feedback? Close the loop. When a customer complains, fix it and then actually reach back out and tell them you fixed it.
Which leads us perfectly into Section 5, measuring what matters most.
Because look, all these strategies and quick fixes, they're kind of useless if we aren't tracking their impact. You simply cannot improve an operation that you don't reliably quantify. So let's look at the metrics that actually matter. First up is CSAT, the Customer Satisfaction Score. Think of this as your immediate real-time pulse check. It measures exactly how happy your customer is the very moment a ticket is resolved. It's a quick, simple way to gauge the immediate quality of that specific support interaction.
Let's move to and see how this builds. While CSAT measures a single fleeting moment, NPS, or Net Promoter Score, zooms way out. It tells you how likely a customer is to actually recommend your brand to a friend or colleague. A high NPS means your service is successfully building long-term brand advocacy and structural loyalty. It's the big picture.
And to round out our metrics dashboard, we have CES, the Customer Effort Score. Basically, this measures friction. How much work did the customer actually have to do to get their problem solved? Did they have to repeat themselves to 3 different agents? Because less effort always equals a better experience. Frictionless, low-effort support is an absolutely massive driver of modern retention.
Finally, we arrive at Section 6, building long-term loyalty. We've talked a lot about individual strategies and real-time metrics, but how do we transform all of this into a sustainable, company-wide culture of continuous improvement? Well, it all starts with one simple realization. Feedback is a gift. Honestly, every single piece of feedback you receive, whether it's glowing praise or a really stinging complaint, is a free lesson. It's vital insight directly from the source on how you can adjust your processes, train your team better, and strengthen those customer relationships. Don't run away from negative feedback. Mine it for gold. To make sure this continuous improvement actually sticks, keep the 4 P's of service in your back pocket. People, process, product, and performance. Hire and train good people to give great service. Build clear processes to stop annoying delays. Ensure your product actually works and makes customers happy. And finally, track your performance to keep quality consistently high. This framework ensures that your entire company, from marketing to product design all the way down to frontline support, is completely aligned around the customer experience. I want to wrap up this explainer by leaving you with a really provocative question to ask yourself and your leadership team today. Are you just fixing problems, or are you building genuine relationships that drive long-term business growth? Take a hard, honest look at your operations. Stop settling for just being good and start putting in the proactive work to be truly excellent. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and I hope you're feeling eager to evaluate and upgrade your very own service playbook.